Morning, guys. I'm out here at the job where I was doing the burning in the middle of the night, and just wanted y'all to take a look at it here and see what you think. I got this side over here. You know, I couldn't take that stuff down over there and clean it up because that's on another person's property, but I got all this side here seeded and strawed, dressed up. I did all the dress up on this side with the John Deere 1026R and a landscape rake, and it turned out pretty good just considering using it with a landscape rake, I think. And I also have seeded up there towards the outbuilding. I knocked the window out of that outbuilding up there with the brush cutter. Oh, and I also knocked the wind out of my truck with the brush cutter on this same job. So I had a little rough luck with the brush cutter and windows, and I wasn't nowhere near either one of them when they got broke out. But that thing can throw stuff at least 100 yards, actually probably more than that. But anyway, I've still got all this area here that I've got to fix. I got to finish filling this hole in. It just keeps raining, and I've been having trouble getting it done because of the rain and my scheduling with doing my regular job, you know, working down on the big job, and just hadn't been able to get it done. But today is Monday, right, the day after Easter, and we aren't working on the big job today, so I decided to come over here and try to get this straightened up. Now, I had to take the John Deere 1025 to another job, and it's sitting over there doing nothing right now, but I wanted to get this done a little faster. So I brought this tractor here, TC55DA, with Harley T6 power box rake. And this thing right here is the trick for doing stuff like this. It's way ahead of a landscaping rake. So I want to go ahead and get started using that thing, and y'all can watch and see what you think of it. My plan is to start raking everything towards this hole. I'm going to pull everything to this hole, put all the rocks and junk in this hole, because there's nowhere else to put it around here unless I load it on a dump truck and haul it off. And I probably will have to haul a little bit off when I get down to filling that hole in and smoothing it up. But you know, there's this property, basically I have been over every inch of it with something, either the excavator, the tractor cleaning it up, or the lawnmower. There's a little bit of yard up there, and I've picked up this yard to mow too. So eventually all this is going to be grass, and I'll be mowing all of it once I get it all done and get it seeded and it's growing. So the other thing that I got to work on this project is the driveway. She wants me to do the driveway, see how it's washed out, which we got 7 inches of rain the other day, so that didn't help. And then we got another 4 inches one week later. But you see the driveway's washed out. I got to get rid of those rocks next to that post down there. I got to fix this driveway. I got to redo the parking area next to the house at the driveway. I got to make a turnaround. So I still got a lot of work to do here. But the goal today is to get all this dressed up and get it seeded today. So hopefully I can get that done, and then I need to get on spreading some fertilizer. I still ain't got that completely done. I started on it this weekend, but I spread 5 tons, and that was all I had. I had to go get some more this morning, so I got it on the buggy, but I gotta get it on the field as soon as possible because it's getting late. So, all right, well, let's get started. Okay, so I stopped here for a second so we can take a look at what's going on here. I don't know how many of you are familiar with one of these things, but these things are amazing at what they do. Basically how it works is you got this drum that has carbide bits on it, and it rotates backwards, and it rakes everything forwards, and it lets the dirt come through this crack right here. So you got dirt spilling out here, and it kind of filters the rocks and the sticks out, and you can see what it leaves behind. Now this is just after one pass, and I'll probably go over it one more time to finish it off. But like, see this rock it's kicking on right here? You would think that would tear the teeth off of it, but it don't. It'll eventually pop that rock right out of the ground and take it with it. But you can see the piles that I'm pulling up here. It's got some dirt in it, but it's mostly just roots and rocks. See here? So, you know, and it also kind of levels, it fills in little holes, and it just kind of levels, and it fluffs the dirt, so it makes a perfect seed bed. And so, you know, this thing, we've had this one right here for probably 15 years now, and it's holding up really well, and we've been really pleased with it. We've done very little to it. We've also got one that goes on a skid steer loader, and it's hydraulic driven, of course. But anyway, you kind of get the idea what I'm doing here and what I'm after. And now this thing is too big for the little John Deere tractor. That's why I hadn't been using it on it. And you got to have it on a tractor basically this size. I think a little bit smaller tractor can handle it, maybe like a 40 horsepower engine horsepower or something. Probably can handle this, but this 55 is just excellent with it. They make like a 4-foot one for the John Deere, but they're extremely expensive. So I think one this size now is about $7,000 or something. And I remember when we bought this one, it was right around $6,000 back then, and we thought that was just mind-blowing expensive for something that we didn't know how it would work or what it could do at the time. But now that we've owned one, you know, we realize, you know, it's the only way to go when you're doing this type of work, fixing yards and stuff. But it's hard to justify such a small one. I think the 4-foot one was like $4,800 or something. And you know, even if I had the 4-foot one, this job is almost too big for a 4-foot one. You need this 6-foot one. It'll take a while to do it. So anyway, I still got the 138 over here so I can fill my hole in, and I got to get busy doing that as soon as I get these rocks in there. So I still got a lot of work to do here. I'm gonna keep working this up that way to the hole, then I'll get up there and work that down to the hole. And I gotta work this area and a couple of more spots. But anyway, let's keep after it. right, it's starting to look pretty good, especially out in here where I've went over it a couple of different times. I still got quite a bit to do, but we'll just check back on it once I get closer to being done, and then see how it looks. All right, so it's about, what time is it? 5:15, and I'm done Harley raking, smoothing up, cutting off roots for now. I'll have to cut a few more off. That's about all I'm gonna lack, is putting down seed and trimming a few more roots off that I see as I go. There's roots everywhere. But you know, I got done, I Harley raked everything by 12 o'clock, and then I filled the hole in till about 12:30. And when I come back from lunch, I had to rake all that I filled in. It was right in that area there. It's still kind of soft right there because the dirt got wet one of the holes dug out, so it's kind of smushy right in there, but all the rest of it's in real good shape. And I'm getting ready to start putting the seed on it. And then I got a new fertilizer spreader for my 1025, so sometime I'll get it out and bring it over here and put fertilizer on it. Got that from Everything Attachments. I think it's an Agrex. So looking forward to trying it out. Right now we got the seed trailer here, and we got an old Honda Foreman 450 ES in here, and kind of dark in here, but we got some grass seed, and I got to load it up in here. This is the grass seeder. I got a fertilizer spreader on the back of this, but it works okay, but it's not the best. I mean, it spreads okay, but the mechanism, it opens and closes it. It's kind of hard to operate. So I was just going to use the tractor to spread it. I had to spread probably 400 or 500 pounds over here. It's a big enough area. So anyway, let's load this thing up and get it out of here. Been mixed with about 10% annual ryegrass. That's the mixture we normally use. I don't know how well this camera mounting deal is going to work. Anyway, turn the seeder on. Alright, here in the daylight you have a little bit better look at what we're riding on here. It's got two electric spreaders, on one on the front, one on the back. The idea is to spread grass seed with the front, spread fertilizer with the rear one. We don't normally do it at the same time because they spread different widths, but grass seed never spreads as wide as fertilizer. But it's a pretty good setup. We keep it all in that trailer, and then we get it out when we need it. And we use it a whole lot on jobs like pipe laying jobs on the sides of the roads where you got miles of pipe that you put in, and you got to restorate people's yards and everything, and you got to ride a long ways. This ATV works real good for all that, but it works good for yards too. Done a lot of yards with it. Anyway, I'm gonna keep on seeding here for a little bit. right, so now is the final touch for the seeding, other than fertilizer, is I'm going to put some straw on it with a Teagle straw blower. I got about 1/4 of a bale in there left from last time I was blowing some straw, you know, over here, and I got 1 bale down there, but I'm about 100% sure that a bale and 1/4 isn't going to do it. 2 bales might do it. And the problem is the only straw we got is down there on the big job, because we ran out of straw and we bought some, and that's where we took it to. So if I run out, well, I take it back. We got some small square bales of straw at the shop, and I can put those in here. I can bring some of those and put them in. So anyway, I got it hooked to the Massey, and this does run off 1,000 RPM. So I had to change the shaft on the tractor and change the gearing. Over there's a little lever you flip. This tractor don't have 540E because it has 1,000 RPM, which allows me to run something like this, but I don't have 540E. You can't have both on this tractor. It's just not an option. So anyway, this was our small straw blower. You probably seen our big straw blower in the last video, but anyway, geez, high-powered rifle again. All right, anyway, I'm gonna get in here and get it started up, let it warm up a minute, and I've got a bunch of work to do up here. I gotta get rid of this stump. Let me show you this stump up here. I gotta level this area right here and make it a better place to park. The people that live or that own this are elderly, and they have trouble walking around on all this uneven ground, and it's sloping really hard that way. They wanted a more level spot to park and easier access to this, and they want this graveled. Look at this stump right here that I got to figure out how to get rid of. This is a stump now. And then they poured this concrete. Right here's a root going right under the concrete. So this is going to be a challenge. And I do have a stump grinder to go on that machine, and that may be the way I have to get rid of this, is just sit here and grind and grind and grind and grind and get it down, chewed off down in the ground, and then maybe I could take something and dig the rest of it out and not destroy this concrete. These stumps here will probably have to go to do the driveway. I gave them a price to take all these stumps out. There's stumps all down through here, but I don't know that they're going to do that. But they are going to do the driveway. And I got to fix the driveway all the way to the road and get it to where it won't wash anymore. It's just, I got to put gravel on all of it. I got still a lot of work to do here. But this clearing job was the bulk of it, I guess, or the biggest time consuming part. So I'm glad to be getting that wrapped up. So, and I got another one to do straight across the road, so then I'll have to get started on that one. So, all right, let's get in the tractor.